Now read that verse there, because somebody may say I made that up. Read it again.
For I speak to you, Gentiles.
I speak to you, Gentiles, talking about the European.
Inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles.
Now I'm your apostle. You don't know nothing, but I'm going to teach you something. I'm going to teach you who you are and who are these people of color, of this beautiful brown color. I'm going to teach you who they are so you know how to deal with them. See, that's when Paul is the Gentile teacher. Now, they try to make like Paul was some white boy. He ain't no white boy. If he's white boy, why would he say, look after my flesh? Because if he's white, he's already after their flesh. Why you want to be after, because he lets you know that he wasn't the same color of the Gentiles, because he said, I want to get somebody after my flesh. He lets you know that my flesh is different than your flesh, Gentiles. Oh, man. Now, let's read it. Y'all, I got to get through with this. I mean, if I don't have nothing but 2 listen, I got to at least get through it because it's in my spirit. Read on.
I magnify mine office.
I magnify my office. I'm the apostle of the Gentile. I'm your leader. I'm your teacher. I'm your pusher. You know what I mean? I'm in the one that's going to show you how to live with this freedom you got that my people used to have. That's in the trap. You're going to have everything that they had before they got put in the trap. And I got to show you how you got it. I was talking to the beautiful Gentile brother who going to build me a church. And he said, well, Bishop, he said, well, I said, I want you to build it out of steel for me. But I want you to build it like a great big barn. And I'm going to decorate it myself. So I ain't got to pay all that money. I just want to build me a great big steel building. And then I'm going to decorate the building. I'm going to take a big, beautiful chandelier and I'm going to put it right in the front of the building, big window. You know. And I'm going to take and do this and that. He said, well, I can do that for you. You know. I said, I ain't going to pay nobody no millions of dollars to get no church built in them with 4 walls. So he said, me and him got to keep talking. He said, well, I said, do you know who you are? He said, what do you mean? I said, do you know who you are? He said, well, I know I'm white. I know I'm a white man. I said, don't you know that we used to tell you what to do? And when I got through talking to him and showing him all the scripture, he said, I ain't never had no black man to come to my house and eat. Can you go home and tell my wife all this stuff you told me? He invited me to dinner. These people is not what y'all think they are. But you got to love them. But you ain't got to be inferior to them and quit rousing with their society. They in charge now for a season. When the wind is blowing a certain way, you can't go against the wind because it's going to beat you up. You got to go with the wind. This is their day in the sun and our day of punishment. But it's almost over, baby. Now read that verse again, because Paul is telling his Gentiles. He said, now look here. The fault of them is the riches of you Gentiles. Well, that meant the Gentiles didn't have no money. Because they was already rich. Why would he say that? Mm-hmm. Now read that again, Brother Rick.
13 or 12.
Verse number, read 12 and 13.
Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and
now he said the fall of us, brown Hebrews, is the riches of the world. That's how the world got rich. Because we had all the money, and we had the money to lend to many nations. So all nations was able to rise up and become more productive once we went down. Now read on what he said.
Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world, and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles.
The riches of the Gentiles. Now, you think these Gentiles got all this stuff? All these beautiful cities used to be beautiful. Now they're raggedy now. Because the Gentiles done made God upset with themselves. With all this wicked stuff they're doing. Now, all this Gentile, all the pretty cars, the Rolls Royce, the Packer used to be a beautiful car. You know, my preacher, when I was a little boy, he had a Packer. Bishop Ross, he was a archbishop, he said. You know, he didn't even eat with black folk. He ate at the terminal station with white folks for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a college guy. He had a degree from Morehouse. Now, all the stuff in America, all these pretty clothes, Versace, you know, I got all these pretty clothes. I can't even wear them. I got all these clothes that the rich folk buy. I was in New York. I had my own salesman wait on me. Campbell, you're back up here again, Bishop. What you doing? You know, I'm coming to get a wardrobe made up for my summer wardrobe. You know, I'm gonna buy 4 or 5 suits and buy me some alligator shoes and some beautiful sport coats. Send me all this stuff in the mail. You know, send it back to me. I should go there and shop every year. I'm living like I'm on Wall Street. You know, I don't live in Philly. My chauffeur, he gets out the car and come in. He said, man, who is this guy? I said, Marvin, I told you to stay in the car, man. You ain't dressed to come in here. These people don't, this is a Wall Street store. So he had to go back outside, you know. The fall of us is the riches of the Gentiles. They didn't have no money. They was a bunch of broke people. See, God had to take somebody that was on the bottom to provoke us to jealousy because we were so high. Mm-hmm. See, when you're real high, God had to give you somebody to provoke you to jealousy that's very low. Mm-hmm. That's when he used the Gentiles. He couldn't use Ham. Ham and them had civilizations. Right. They had the pyramids and all kind of stuff. Right. He tried to use black Ham against us, but it wouldn't work. The Ethiopian, who you think Moses married? Mm-hmm. The Hebrew Moses married the Ethiopian girl. Mm-hmm. He couldn't provoke us with no black folk, because we were the top black folk anyway. But the other black folk, he couldn't provoke us with them. He had to use somebody that was at the bottom to provoke us with. Mm-hmm. So he gave it to the Gentiles, to the Europeans. He put them over us. And he told us that they ain't going to show you no mercy neither. Now, y'all thought y'all got away because every time I tried to provoke you with some people of color, y'all got married and then y'all ganged up together. This time you ain't going to be. I want to send somebody against you that ain't going to let you marry the women. As they catch you one, they going to kill you. You know. Now, that was the beginning. They doing things now, but I'm talking about the real history. I'm giving you history, baby. Now, read on what he said. This is good. Stay with me now, please. I mean, I ain't got nothing to do today. The day is the 7-day Sabbath. You can't go to work nowhere. You can't turn the TV on if you're serving God. Just don't do your pledges on my holy day. That's the reason I missed the football game last night. The Bengals were playing. And the boy called me and said, the Bengals playing. I said, well, I can't look at no Bengals, man. This is Friday night, the beginning of the Sabbath. God told me I don't do my pledge on this holy day. So I went and watched the Watchmen for a while. You know, but sometimes I get sick of watching them jokers because they done twist the word of God up so bad. Now read on, Rick, read on.
For I speak to you, Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify mine office. if by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them. For
My flesh. Now, if he was a Gentile flesh, why is he talking about the people who he wanted to vote to jealousy? He was a black man, pretty brown man. That's our real color. You know, 'cause we don't live by it. We're not from South Africa. We're not down by the equator. So we don't get real dark. We keep our nice brown skin. There ain't nothing wrong with being black. But why should I be black when I'm not black? Why should I say I'm black? I ain't black. Why should I just please somebody that I want to make tell them I'm black? You know, we the brown stem. There's two stems of people of color. It's the brown stem and it's the black stem. But the black stem is mostly those who live where there's a lot of sun beating on them all day long. And the skin, the melanin in their skin, they just get darker. You know. But I don't live around the sun. You know. I like the sun. Now we know what he said. There's so many teachers. I got so much. If I could really ever teach you, if we could ever take our time and we just go every day if we could go every day for 1 week, and we could, we could give you some information that you ain't never even thought about. I could teach you things about. A lot of these boys want a white lady, and ain't nothing wrong with it, but they don't even know the full significance of a white woman. You know, they don't know, dumb. I want a white woman. You don't even know the full significance of a white woman. You don't know her makeup and her chemistry. Because nobody never taught you nothing. Now we know what he said.
For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead?
All right, now we are spiritually dead. See, life from the dead. We are spiritually dead because we don't know who we are. Now, Paul is saying that it's trying to teach the Gentiles that you're dealing with a bunch of people who was on top and you were inferior to them. But now you're going to be equal with them. They made God so upset that God going to make you Gentiles equal with brown Israel. He going to make you equals. Now, they needed this education from Paul because they didn't know nothing. That's when Paul said, I'm your teacher. See, they got their teaching from a black man, but they cut you off and took the teaching they got from your black brother and whitewashed it and made you think it was they teaching. Oh, hallelujah. I don't think you heard that. They took the teachers that black Paul taught them, whitewashed it, turned you into a Negro, so you think they smarter than you. You think they look better than you. But you're more prettier than they are. You're more everything than they are. But you don't know it because they made you a Negro. A Negro don't know nothing because there's no Negro nation. Ain't no Negro folk to teach nobody nothing. Because it's nothing but a lie anyway. Paul was not no Negro, he was an Israelite. When you become an Israelite again, then you're going to be 10 times smarter than the folk who made you a Negro. That's what they're afraid of. That's when they don't want you in the lab. That's when they don't want you in the sport game, because you take over, because you're more knowledgeable in your gene pool. Now read it one more time, Rick. I think they're going to give me a break. I'm going to jump down. I ain't got to do all this. Now read on what he said. One more time.
For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead? For if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. And if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, were grafted in among them, and with them partakest of the root and the fatness of the olive tree, boast not against the branches.
There you go, see? In other words, we the original. You the one, you the root, baby. You the root. They been drafted contrary into your olive tree. You the ones that's the root. They're not the root. They are the ones drafted into the root. The root is the thing that makes a tree be something. A tree with no roots falls apart. You are the root. Did you hear what Paul said? He told the Gentiles, y'all been drafted in to their olive tree. Now don't go boasting against them. Treat them nice for this season that you got to rule over them. They only got a season to rule over us anyway. Nobody, that's the reason I keep telling you, folks, quit wrestling with the police, quit being ignorant, take your time, look good, smell good, think good, educate your children with a Gentile education, and definitely with a biblical education, which is your education anyway, again, both. And in a few more days, they're going to be putting you on 707s, flying you back home to your real land. You're going to get your king back. David going to wake up. You're going to get your king back. You're going to get everything back that you lost. You're going to get your knowledge back. You're going to get rid of this mind that you got now. You're going to do brain surgery on you, spiritually so, and give you back your Hebrew mind. Quit getting yourself in trouble. Stay out the penitentiary, stay out the hospital, and stay out of messing with the police. Take it easy. Live a little longer. Now let's read verse number 25, and then we're going to be letting them out, because I ain't going to cease down. I ain't going no more. It's just they're what we waiting on. We're waiting on something now. Now read 25, he says what? 11:25, as I close.
For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits.
Now, that's Paul talking to the Gentiles. He said, now, this is a mystery that happened to these people. And I don't want you to be wise in your own conceits, so I'm explaining it to you so you won't get the big head and you won't treat these people inferior. So I got to explain it to you. So Paul is talking to his Gentile church. They're trying to show them it's a mystery that took place. The mystery is that the greatest people on the planet was brought down to zero, and you was brought up to be the new caretaker. But you in they good olive tree, you in they roots. But God did it to provoke them to jealousy, because he couldn't provoke them to jealousy with black ham. He provoked them to jealousy with your white skin. Now, boast not against these people, because these people is the reason you're successful. The reason you got all this money is I took all the money that they had and gave it to you to provoke you to jealousy, so you could provoke them to jealousy. And I brought them all down, and I cut their fathers off. I let them cut their fathers off so they wouldn't know nothing but what you going to teach them. Now, don't be boasting against these people. Now, read on what he said. This is very, as I close.
Lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in.
Did you hear that? Into the fullness of the Gentiles. Now remember, they only have a temporary rulership. We was not to be down forever, baby. We was only supposed to be down for 2,520 years. 400 years in North America. The rest of the time scattered all around the planet. Now, Paul the apostle is telling them, I don't want you to be ignorant of this mystery. It's a mystery that they is not on top right now. It's a mystery you black folks ain't on top. It's a mystery why y'all following these devilish Democrats. It's a mystery. If you had the sense, you wouldn't follow no Democrat. You'd be trying to get back to your real Savior. And you definitely wouldn't follow no Democrat, period. And the only reason you would follow a Republican would be because Lincoln was a Republican, and they did try to give you a little break. The Republicans tried to give you. But you wouldn't follow a Democrat nowhere, because they're the ones that put your mama in jail, raped your sister, hung you in the street. The Dixiecrats is the modern day Democrats. So, but you don't know who you are. If you knew who you are, you would have never been, by this time you'd been back on top, because you'd have went back to God, to your God, but they cut you off from your knowledge and gave you their book to read, which was your book in a way, but they put white pictures in it. God didn't allow them to mess with your book, because that's the only way you can find your way home is through your literature. But they put pictures in your book and made you think that the book that you read, called the Bible, is a white book. And you ain't got nobody around to show you the whole 9 yards. They give you sleeping pills with Charlton Heston and Victor Mature playing Samson. That's when they have all these movies. They had a movie the other day on Joseph. I hung up. I turned it off. Ain't no but a sleeping pill. These ain't the people of this book. This is Hollywood. They took Hollywood and made you think that the King James Version of the Bible is their book when it's your book. Tear the pages out and read it. God had to give you some way home, baby. How you gonna get home and don't know nothing? You got to have some kind of map. Your map is the King James Version, Old and New Testament. It's who you are. You ain't no Negro. Oh, boy. Now, finish reading that. He said, now, read 25 one more time, and then I'm going to let you read on down as we close.
For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits, that blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
That's right. That's what we're waiting on. We're waiting on Yahshua, who is our deliverer. We're waiting on the black Messiah. Now be still and see God. We're waiting on your deliverer, baby. You're getting ready to get out of here. You're getting ready to get your knowledge back. You're getting ready to get your property back. You're getting ready to be on top again. Now, all these people who treated you bad, all these Democrats, they're the ones you're going to have to take home, and you're going to have to be ruling over them because they did you so bad. Now, the ones that treated you nice, you just going to treat them nice because niceness get niceness. But all these folks that mistreated you and made you Negroes and did all this dumb stuff to you, made you hate your own self, made you hate your color. You don't even like your mother's color. You go get you a white woman and be glad about it. I want some good hair babies. I want some light babies. They did all this dumb stuff to you, baby, because you had no teacher. You left your pretty brown-skinned girl that looked when she get 80 like she did when she was 55. Yeah, so you got all messed up. I ain't mad at you, but you're waiting on your deliverer out of Zion that's going to turn away what? Ungodliness from you. You're an ungodly bunch of people right now. The Democrats made you an ungodly people. You know, they put you in the neighborhood, put a lot of bad liquor in there with you, 20 grand ale that they make overnight. They made you drink you drunk all that stuff. You're depressed all the time. They put all kind of dope in your neighborhood. They put all kind of ungodliness going on. You're dying with the plague because they done fed you all these hog chickens. I mean, all this chilies and all this hog. They put you on the hog. They ran your blood pressure up. They gave you so much salt. Everything you eat is salt, salt, salt. You got high blood pressure, you have a stroke. Everything's been going against you, but you're waiting on a deliverer out of Zion. Who is our deliverer? Yahshua, the Messiah, who the world called Jesus. He's coming to get us. Be still and see the salvation of God. Read on. So what, how to read that verse said, read it all the way down to the bottom, and then I'm through.
And so all Israel shall be saved.
Did you hear that? All black Israel shall be saved. It's only Israel. These Gentiles are just called spiritual Israel, who God provoked us with that treated us nice. He let them be called spiritual Israel. But God talking about natural Israel. Natural Israel, all you natural Israelites that thank you Negroes, thank you Afro-Americans. Yeah, you didn't listen to Jesse Jackson. Al Sharpton, all them guys, they ain't nothing but pimps. They pimp you, baby. They ain't for you. They was for you. They'll be against abortion. Because that's where you kill all that's what cuts you off. You're supposed to be not 40 million. You're supposed to be 100 million right now in America. But they cut you off. They use your own black folk to cut you off. Obama killed a baby in the 8th month. You know, come on now. They use your own people to mess you up. They should have been fighting all that. No, we don't want no abortion. I'm the president now. We getting rid of abortion. That's what Obama should have said. No, he killed a baby in the 8th month. Snatched that little black baby out the womb and cut his throat. Took his brains out of his head. That's the same thing that Pharaoh did to us. That's how Moses got out there in the ocean. Black on black crime. Quit being so worried about Gentile crime, because some of these Gentiles really want to get a reward. They don't want to be, they want to be in the world to come with God, so they're going to try to show you some mercy, but they can't just give up their kingdom and make you happy. They got to still be on top until the fullness of the Gentiles come in. They just can't turn it up to you, baby. It ain't your time. You waiting on your deliverer to come out of Zion. He going to stop the full significance of the Gentile kingdom. Now read on a little bit more, right? Two more verses right there. So all Israel shall be what?
So all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. For this is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins. As concerning the gospel, they are enemies for your sakes, but as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sakes.
Did you hear that? It's touching the election. They are beloved for the Father's sake. Come on now. Straighten up. Quit fighting with the police. Quit following these devilish Democrats. Wait on the Lord. He got a deliverer coming out of Zion that's going to turn away ungodliness from you in a few more days. I'm going to see you next time with so much information. God bless you.